Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the theatre. Great to see you all here. And this is our Captain's Corner question and answer session. We're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves, first of all. But any questions that you may have, any burning questions, any nautical questions about the ship or about the company, anything like that, we are here to try and answer as much as we can this afternoon. I'd like to introduce you, first of all, we have our Captain Rumen. And our Hotel Director, Alexander. So first of all, I'm going to pass it over to Captain Rumen to tell us a little bit about his career and how he ended up on Radiance of the Seas.
My name is Rumen, maybe you heard already this name before. I'm from Bulgaria, actually the only Bulgarian captain in the Royal Caribbean. And my adventure with Royal started 15 years ago, back on Radiance on Majesty of the Seas. So, before that I was 3-4 years already working with cruise ships in a different company, small one, with a single ship company in the Indian Ocean. And prior to that I had 10 years on container ships. So that's how my career started, first on cargo ships. Completely different type of guests over there. Square boxes, metal boxes. They don't talk, they don't complain. And they don't smile. So yeah, my whole idea from the Naval Academy was that one day I will end up on cruise ships, and this was the drive for me to go and study navigation. And the moment I got the opportunity, I grabbed it. I started with a very little ship. It was 220 guests and 130 crew. And we were doing beautiful cruises in the Indian Ocean between Zanzibar, Madagascar, Seychelles, Mauritius, down to South Africa, and back to Mombasa, which was our home port in Kenya. And 2 years later, I received an offer that you can't say no from Royal Caribbean. And yes, I had to step 3 steps down in the ranks, but I did it just to come to Royal. I was staff captain on this small ship and I came as a first officer here. So it took me another, 7 years to reach to staff captain position again, and 14 years to reach captain's position. But I can tell you it was worth it. So that's about my career. Short story of 29 years at sea. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Captain. And Hotel Director Alex is here as well. So if you could tell us a bit about your career and what brought you to Radiance of the Seas.
Now it's working. A very good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Alex and I have the pleasure to be a hotel director. And I'm all the way from Austria. Now I always like to explain how did I end up first of all working on cruise ships, because Austria is a landlocked country, there's not many seafarers there. And in my case it's very easy. I watched 2 shows in the 80s. One was called Hotel and the other one The Love Boat. Now you combine these 2 and you got a hotel director on cruise ships. And I did work in hotels, shoreside first, for about 10 years. Then I joined the Love Boat company for 19 years, went through the ranks until I actually started working then for Royal. That was 6 years ago. And since then I was on Jewel, on Freedom, Liberty, Vision of the Seas. I know quite a lot of you from Vision of the Seas. And now Radiance is actually my permanent ship since 2021. Since the out of service period. I went with Radiance of the Seas through dry dock already, and there will be actually another one planned next year, in a year time. And yeah, so now I'm here and I'm happy to actually welcome you cruise by cruise and see you enjoying the product.
Very good, thank you very much to Alex. Okay. So now we're going to open up to your questions, everybody. I hope you had a great cruise, and this is your chance to ask anything either about the cruise or the ship itself, or nautical questions, anything about the company that we'll try and answer for you. So just let us know your name and where you're from. We have Lucas from the activities staff and our stage and production manager Rowling there as well. So yes, go ahead, sir. You're the first one.
Tom Young. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. And I just wanted to know how many days in the year you're away from home.
How many days in the year are you away from home? Quite a few.
Well, the contracts to the marine officers, 50-50, that means 50% on board, 50 at home. So my contract is 10 weeks. So now I will be 10 weeks on board and then 10 weeks at home. So I work half a year and I rest half a year. There are other ranks on the ship and in the fleet that they have different contracts. This is for the marine officers. Some officers, they are 4 months on board and then they are 2 months at home. And there are other crew members that stay 7-8 months on board and they go 2-3 months at home and coming back. So depends on the ranks also.
Yes, Bruce Hausman from San Antonio. Is it true that the Radiance is going to dry dock to get repurposed, refinished? Is that true?
Well, it's a planned dry dock which is coming next year in March. And it will be in Grand Bahamas, in the neighborhood.
Okay, and yeah, go ahead.
News was spreading very fast, yeah? I learned this yesterday.
Here in the back.
Yeah, I'm Vance Smith from Corpus Christi. I was wondering if you could tell us about the rescue we did. You guys did in Key West.
Okay, yeah. This was maybe the highlight of the cruise for us, at least on the bridge. I believe all of you already heard about that, but yeah. So on the approach to Key West, the pilot boat started communicating with the Coast Guard. There was one stationed big Coast Guard ship outside of the farewell, calling them that they found a person in the water, that they just rescued him in the boat. And the guy was literally hanging on, holding one of the sea boys there. And what he told the pilots was that he was more than 24 hours. From the previous night he was in the water. And you remember the weather, it was quite rough. Some people met me later and said we survived the Gulf Stream, the Gulf of Mexico. Wasn't that bad, right? But anyway, strong wind from north, cold wind, 30-35 knots, so not the best conditions to be in the water, even just for swimming. And then the pilot proceeded out to meet us, and while we were maneuvering to receive the boat, because we had to turn the ship to give a lee side for the pilot boat, we spotted one small, very unusual boat about 1 mile from us. It wasn't easy to see because of the sea state, but what we noticed, no one inside. At least that's what we thought. And all the fancy boats in Key West do not match with the one that we saw. So we thought something is wrong. And the moment pilot embarked, I called the pilot boat and I said, please go in this direction, about 1 mile. There is a boat, just go and check what is it. So they went there, nobody inside. Okay, good. And we took the pilot and we proceeded inside the channel. And the staff captain next to me, suddenly he's looking to the binoculars. He said, something is strange over there on the starboard side. I see some water splashing, but what's going on? I don't know. So we all took the binoculars. And these ladies, they know how good the binoculars are looking here, catching everything. So we look through the binoculars and we see 2 persons in the water waving. They had some floaters with them. I don't know if it was life jackets or something else, but waving to us. Okay, we were with 9-10 knots already. We cannot stop in the farewell because also of the wind will set us to the shallow water. So we had to keep our speed, but we blow the whistle and we called the Coast Guard cutter. There was a cutter which was escorting us, and we pointed them towards the direction of the 2 persons in the water. They went and they rescued them. we continue, but we said, okay, let's keep our eyes sharp open because could be more. And there were more. Maybe less than a mile further in, the quartermaster, this is the guy who is on the bridge as a lookout, he saw 2 more persons on the port side, outside of the farewell, also waving to us. Again, we blow the whistle, we called the Coast Guard, so the Coast Guard went behind us on the other side now, and they went for a rescue mission for the other 2 guys. So 5 people were saved, just on our way to Key West. Yeah. This was quite an accomplishment. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, over there. Yes, go ahead, sir.
My name is Jim. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana. And my question is, what is the fuel capacity of this ship?
Well, we have enough, sufficient fuel for 3 weeks. So, are you planning to extend our cruise? Tomorrow, I think there are some people that will give you a hand for this. Tomorrow we are bunkering in Galveston, and usually about 2,200 tons. I can't convert it in gallons because I'm on the metric system, but that's our capacity, and sufficient for 3 weeks independent. So we can go. Tell me one port where you want to go. We go.
Sounds good, sounds good. Okay, we have another question right here, yeah?
Yeah, my name is Chris Grossar from Groves, Texas. Is there any plans in the future for Royal Caribbean to offer more Eastern Caribbean cruises from Galveston?
Listen, I would love to be with a ship doing Eastern Caribbean from Galveston because simply the people from Texas are awesome. I really enjoy the crowd coming on board, and nothing to do with Florida. Sorry if anyone from Florida here, but it's completely different crowd, and it's really pleasant to be on board and to have you guys. I hope there will be such cruises. That means they should be quite longer, not even 10 days will be not enough to reach St. Martin or St. Thomas. So, not sure about this, how cost effective could be, but possibilities are there. For the moment, we are having 2 or 3 more cruises from Galveston, and then we are leaving for Alaska. And then when we come back, we will not come to Galveston, unfortunately. We are going to Tampa, replacing Serenade. Serenade, she is starting the world cruise, and we will take her place over there. But next year at some point, Jewel of the Seas will come to Galveston, and she's same like us, sister ship. So you will have one of our ships over there, including Oasis class ship and the Voyager class ship.
Okay, next one. Oh yes, right there, go ahead.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. But my name is Helen Waldo Myers, and I'm from the great state of North Carolina. My very important question to you is, do you have a shortage of staff? Are you cutting back on the staff? Or what actually is the problem? Because it seems to be an overabundance of people in the particular, the Windjammer, and there are very few people that are doing duties there. So that is my question to you.
Yeah, we did not really reduce any staff. I mean, we're getting actually more and more. Now we're counting 880 crew members on board instead of what was 850 a year ago. We did have some shortages last year when we came out, but now even with the new loyals, as we call them, like newly trained staff or first time at sea, we manage quite well, I would say. But for the Windjammer, obviously we can look into it if there's any service issues or any slow service. Of course, we'll do so.
Yes, thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you.
But may I go a bit farther? I was in the Windjammer one day, and all the tables was full of dirty dishes, and there was no one to clean it off. So I asked a particular person in that area if she could clean it. So she stated to me, well, this is not my area over here. That person is in that area. So I just asked, would you like me to clean the table? So to me, that is definitely short staff.
Yeah, thank you so much for your comment. I just would like to add on that during drill, It might have been, but I had another guest doing the same observation. We have to train our crew members for safety duties, and we will have our Coast Guard inspection also very soon. And that may be the morning where there's a lot of dishes left, but again we'll look into it. I appreciate it. You letting us know. Thank you so much.
Well, first of all, this should never happen, for which I say my sincere apology for this situation. But usually when there are such tough questions, I leave it to the hotel director.
Rick and Jennifer from Northwest Iowa. We're first-time cruisers, and so far we've had a great time. We've thoroughly enjoyed everything we've been a part of, and I'd like to thank you for that. My question is there a point where cruise ships are going to get too big? I mean, is this class being built now, is that probably going to be as big as they get, or is it going to continue to get bigger?
Well, I personally have 10 years on the Oasis class, and anytime I see Oasis class, I still admire the ships, how big they look. But actually, when you go on the ships, you don't feel it, because there are so many venues that you don't feel it overcrowded. Still, the Icon, which is coming, will be close to 10,000 people, both guests and crew. So, for the moment, that will be the biggest, and we will stay the biggest for quite some time. So I don't know if there are plans for something bigger than this, but it all depends on the destinations and the capacity of the destination they can receive. So we can build maybe a 20,000 guest ship, but if you go in Coco Cay, maybe we have by shifts to send you. Okay, you go from 8 to 10, and then the other 10,000 from 10 to 12. So this is what is limiting us. In the cargo industry, yesterday I was reading an article that the new generation of container ships already reached 24,000 TEUs. I was myself 10 years on container ship, and at that time 3,000 TEU was considered huge, and now they're 24,000. So same is with the cruise industry, starting from smaller ships and every time bigger and bigger and bigger. And here comes Icon. Let's see how Icon will go. I'm sure that that will be the most amazing ship in the history of cruising. And you will be the one telling us actually how it feels there. Here on the little Radiance, we'll be waiting for news from you guys.
Are you planning more development on the island of Bimini? If I pronounce that correctly.
Bimini. I can never say it either. Did you hear me in the show? Bimini. Bimini.
Well, I go with Bimini. So actually, the development in Bimini is not ours. It's Virgin Cruises. They are the one that started the development. Over there, the World Resort. It's I believe 50% shares of Virgin Cruises. The pier that was built is for their ship specific, and later other companies start going there, including Royal Caribbean. So I don't know if Virgin have some more ideas about Bimini, but definitely Royal. We will continue using the pier and arriving there. It was beautiful over there. So we are focusing on Coco Cay and Nassau.
Great, thank you very much for all your questions, everybody, and thank you to Captain Ruben and Hope Alex here. We've had a fantastic cruise with us. 9 nights has flown by, so I hope you've had some fun.